I recently got these Alchemy Bar Good Reusable Nespresso Pods. And the reason I got these ones were because I thought they were good value. You get 150 of these lid covers, which are needed. You get 3 pods. A lot of these that you get on Amazon have 2 only. A brush, a scoop, and a tamper. Usefulness of the accessories is questionable, but the scoop is useful. The tamper is sometimes useful. The brush, I didn't really need that much, but I did use it to clean out my grinder, which was kind of nice. There's a bit of a unique shape about these ones. If you see, they're a little skinnier and they have this stepped design here. And there's an O-ring on the outside and the inside. So it's a bit different than the other ones you see on Amazon. So I did find that these worked well, but you have to use them correctly. All right, if you pack too many grounds in there, if you grind it too coarse, it won't work great. They seem to be best for espresso size shots and not the lungos. You can maybe get close to a lungo, but they'll be watered down a little bit, in my opinion. So really good, for espresso size shots. I want to go over real quick why I think these are shaped the way they are. This is an actual made by Nespresso aluminum pod. There's some deforming of this pod from the way it is grasped by the machine, okay? And it seems to correspond directly with the narrower diameter of the Alchemy Bar Good pod. The other reusable pods are just shaped like this. But this one's shaped a little bit different to probably keep your machine from getting damaged after a lot of uses. All right, so what I found works best with these is a fine grind, and then a pretty light packing in here. So I put a little bit in. Oops, it's going to be a bit messy. And then I just let the weight of the tamper push it down. You don't really want to put much pressure in here. In fact, I didn't really put enough in there, but just kind of put it in and don't use much pressure at all. Because if you pack a lot in here at a lot of pressure, it has a tendency to make your Nespresso machine leak through the pod. The seal doesn't hold up. You can actually make these really fast. I'm just kind of taking my time. And then you really don't need this, okay, but it's nice to have. You could just do it with the scoop's a good size. You can just kind of push a little bit with the scoop and you'll be fine. So there's other systems that just come with the scoop, and I'm sure that works just fine. So at the end, I usually just use the scoop and just kind of level it off here. Clean the rim off so that you can put the cover on. Now, I like to make it pretty flush, but I don't pack the top very tight. And then you take your lid and you peel it off. This isn't really that difficult. You don't even need to be that precise. And get it on there. So that's what I've found works best with these. You can experiment. I did some coarser grinds, packing it harder. The finest worked best for me. The coarse worked, but it didn't really make a great coffee. So, all right, I'm going to do the other 2, and then we will go to the Nespresso machine. Okay, I realized I forgot to weigh how much coffee actually fits in here, so we're going to see. Okay, this is the cup empty and dry is 10 grams, 9 grams, 10 grams. Okay, I packed a cup and it weighs 15 grams fully packed, and I didn't pack it super tight. I did it the same way I showed you earlier. So that's actually just about as much as a regular Nespresso pod. Okay, so we're all ready to brew it. These just load in like normal Nespresso cups. There we go. And I'm going to brew an espresso. It looks pretty good. And you'll be able to see if yours is spilling over, if there's liquid coming down the back here. I mean, it depends on your machine, I'm sure. But mine, liquid just starts coming down the back. And there you go. As you can see, looks pretty good, I can tell you. It tastes like how you'd expect from a regular Nespresso pod, so that's what's important. It's thick and pretty strong, so I'm gonna foam some milk and drink this one before I do the next one. Ooh, really filled that up. Alright, that was actually one of the best ones I've made yet, so now let's do a lungo with this. Alright, to do that, I'm going to use a big clear cup. And we'll just watch this. Let me move this forwards here so we can really see it. Alright, there we go. So it comes out pretty nice for a while. And in fact, if you want, I think what I recommend with these, if you want a little more than an espresso, just hit the lungo button and then wait for it to get too watery for your taste and just stop it. Just hit the button again and stop it. But we'll do a full lungo shot here. And it's getting a little watery, and then it gets real watery at the end. So now it's getting real watery. And it's basically water at this point. All pretty much water. And that's a lot of coffee, but you'll see once it settles, it's a little bit lighter in color. I mean, it's not bad, it's just a little watered down. I guess I think I'm just gonna do another espresso into here and have a nice big delicious coffee to finish this out. The coffee's been really consistent out of these ones, and I haven't tried other reusable pods, but consistency is generally what you're aiming for. So I'm gonna go drink this, and then we'll show you how to clean them up. Okay, so I cleaned one of these out already to show you, but there's an O-ring on the outside and there's one on the inside. The one on the outside is very hard to get off, and it shouldn't fall off, and you shouldn't need to remove it. The one on the inside is a little looser. I think it's there just to fill this channel here that would get stuck with grinds if you didn't have it, and it might direct the flow of the water a little better. I'm going to open one up, and like I said, I usually clean these when they are dry, but I don't feel like waiting, so these come off pretty easy, and I've never really had an issue with the residue from the stickiness staying on there, even when I let the coffee grounds completely dry out. These are really in there when they're wet, so I guess I'll just start it for us. And this is why I like to do it when it's dry. You don't really have to do all this. You just tap it a few times and a puck comes out. But so there's the O-ring. I like to just fish that out there with the tip of my knife gently. when I clean these out and it's dry, this is pretty much dry and clean when I've just knocked it into the garbage. But here, I'm going to have to rinse this out, get as many of the grinds out first and then rinse it out. Okay, one last thing I wanted to show you. I have a dried out capsule here. I actually waited long enough so I can show you how easily I claim it comes out. Whoop, making a mess. Okay, it's good to make a little, break the top a little. Then couple knocks and it's pretty much completely clean. So dried out cleans up real easy. So conclusion time. I'd say this is a pretty good product. It does what it's supposed to do. I don't think you need this. This is kind of fluff, but I did use it to clean out my grinder. You get 3 of these, which is more than a lot of them, which give you 2. The tamper, somewhat useful, maybe more useful for some people depending on what works for their machine, but it's nice to have. I think they sell this separate if you do want it for like 12 bucks if you look on Amazon. And then, of course, the scoop is handy because my scoops are all big for like my AeroPress or whatever, so it's a good product and I'm gonna keep it. So that's the Alchemy Bar Goods Reusable Nespresso Capsules. And I'm gonna be doing some more videos, of course. I'm gonna make some LED circuitry soon. I might take apart a portable jump starter for cars. I don't know, it depends. Whatever I feel like working on, I'll post videos of it. So see you around.